Okay, so.
Wait, so we're melting the butter and then we're
doing. I'm explaining again because now we're recording.
Okay.
So first thing you want to do is put 1 stick of butter, chop it up into a couple chunks of like sizes, and put it in the microwave for 30 seconds and then stir it 30 seconds and then stir it until it's melted. Then once it's melted, you're going to measure a cup of chocolate chips and you're going to stir that into the melted butter. This is for our Tar Heel pie filling, but we don't want it to be hot when we're ready to do the Tar Heel pie. Put that together. Once you're finished that, you're going to separate 6 eggs and have 6 egg yolks in one bowl, and so that you're ready to go when we start the creme brulee. Okay. And the chocolate and butter will be set aside. So I'll give everybody a few minutes to do that. Marie, do you have a question?
No, my microwave is right above my computer.
Oh, okay.
So I have semi-sweet and dark chocolate. Which one should I use? The semi-sweet?
You can use either one. If you're a big fan of dark chocolate, that's fine. I happen not to be, so I use semi-sweet. But
yeah, I think I bought it for something else and I haven't done the something else yet.
Mm-hmm. And just a reminder to go to speaker view. So go to view in the top right corner and choose speaker view, and you'll see my 2 cameras, my close-up camera where my hand is waving, and the view of me. You'll see them bigger than everybody's. Okay.
Yeah, I think I bought it for I think I saw the Pioneer Woman do some kind of fudge thingy, and because I don't like dark chocolate, so I can't imagine why else I bought it. So.
Oh.
I will use the semi-sweet.
If it's not fully melted when you put the chocolate chips in the butter, should we zap it for another 10 seconds?
You can do that, yeah. Yeah, if it's fully melted, then that will cause the chips to melt better. But sometimes chips don't want to melt.
And yeah, these are the large ones too, or the regular size.
Oh, okay. And you can also use candy bars, like the large candy bars we use for the fondue. Mm-hmm. So that's another option. Actually, chocolate chips, believe it or not, are meant to hold their shape because they're made for cookies primarily. So sometimes it doesn't melt all the way. If you have it pretty much melted and you see a couple lumps, don't worry about it because it's going to bake in the oven with the pie. So it will be fine.
It was just like a big mass in the center, so I just wanted to make sure it melted.
Uh-huh.
Six egg yolks. Love chocolate chips.
Yeah, and it's only 1 cup. So if you have a 12-ounce package, you have a whole cup left. Yeah.
I have, I think, like a 5-pound bag because I went to BJ's and I think I was hungry when I went. So.
So you can just give me a thumbs up when you have your chocolate and butter melted together and you have your 6 egg yolks separated. Thanks, Clove. Clove, that's pretty good for getting last minute instructions to work along with us.
I wouldn't even have the ingredients. Well, I had most of them. No, I'm not a coffee drinker or anything, so I never have the heavy cream, which was the reason why I chose not to make the pie crust, because I was like, then I have to buy another thing of heavy cream for 3 tablespoons of heavy cream, and I won't use it for anything. So
Right. Clove, did you
You know
have a
what?
question?
Sorry.
I
Sorry?
said, did you have a question?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, so Vera had all the ingredients purchased.
Yeah, she just
Oh.
had to go away for a trip.
oh, okay.
We
Yeah,
were all trying to figure out how you had everything at your fingertips.
Yeah, Vera's very prepared. Set it up all for me.
All except for her.
I have a couple chips that aren't quite melting. Is that fine? I mean, like they're melting, but they're not melted.
It's fine because by the time we get to it, it'll be enough.
Okay. I'm gonna
Freak! Oh no, my egg yolk broke.
get back to my egg yolk operation. I got 4. So
I think I ruined it for the meringue because now it's this egg yolk and my egg white.
this is I'm putting it into a glass because I have that fun little egg separator thingy. So if I ruin it, it's not awful because I can just throw it out then. But so I'm not saying it because I got 2 more to go. So
Marie, you let me know when you're ready with your eggs and with your
I'm
butter
ready.
and chocolate.
I'm
You're
all ready.
Oh, you are?
Whisk.
Okay, great.
What kind of whisk? You want one like this or the balloon whisk or?
The balloon whisk.
Okay,
Okay.
got it.
Okay, I'm ready.
Okay.
And I think I recovered the egg whites. I scooped out the egg yolk that went in. So
Good, good. Yeah, it's much easier when you're going, you need egg yolks than when you need egg whites for a recipe, because you can't have any yolk in a white, but if you're using yolks, you can have a little bit of white in there.
exactly.
okay, I have 6 egg yolks and chocolate.
And butter. And the butter's melted.
Yes,
Yeah.
chocolate and
Okay.
butter melted.
So now we're going to, I think we're going to do the egg yolks and sugar and salt first, and then we'll pay attention since some of you have to move away from the camera to heat the cream. So we'll have the yolks, 6 egg yolks, and a half a cup of sugar and a pinch of salt. And we're going to whisk that.
say salt, should it be kosher salt? Should it be,
Doesn't matter.
okay.
It can be table salt if you have that. And then we're going to put our 2 cups of heavy cream, not into the eggs. This is going to go into a pot, and we're going to let it come to a boil.
Things like a pinch of salt. What does that mean? All right, sorry. So we're whisking the sugar, eggs, and
6 egg yolks, half a cup of sugar, and pinch of salt. You're whisking together. And you have your heavy cream on the stove, and you're bringing that to a boil. So while you're keeping an eye on that, you can continue whisking the egg yolk and sugar.
What heat do you have it on, by the way?
I have it on about medium.
Okay.
And it'll take a few minutes if you just took it out of the refrigerator, because it has to go from cold to boiling. So 2 cups or 1 pint of heavy cream. Marie, by the way, I talked to the on Facebook, the Pepperoni girls, and they remembered you, and they said that if they recall, you like to knit.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So they remember that about you.
Yeah.
So as you're whisking the egg yolks and the cream is on the stove, you should feel or hear that the sugar is dissolved. It won't be crunchy as you keep going. The sugar will be dissolving and the liquid gets looser. And make sure you scrape down the sides of the bowl too, to get any sugar that's stuck on the sides. You'll also notice that the mixture lightens up a little bit. It's not as dark yellow the more that you mix.
Now, speaking of whisks, is it better? So the size of the whisk ball part, is it, mine is pretty small compared to yours, is bigger, better in terms of
No,
mixing?
that's just the one I grabbed.
Okay.
It's fine.
Okay.
Do I have to be worried if I like over whisk this or anything?
You can't over whisk it.
Okay, good. See, these are the words I like to hear. Get too much.
Yeah, it's not like heavy cream that turns into butter. So you don't have to worry about that.
Now, are we looking for a heavy boil or a simmer, or what level are we looking for on the cream? Because I'm
You
getting
want
the
it to
skin now.
get to the boiling point, it says. I usually let it come to a rolling boil,
Okay,
though.
I'm gonna keep my computer further away then.
Okay.
So it's okay that it comes to a rolling boil.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was getting nervous too. I was like, exactly what's the boiling point?
Well, if you have a thermometer, you can put that in. A candy thermometer.
Yeah,
That,
I do.
that would be a way to do it, but rolling
What's it
boil is
supposed to go
fine.
to?
I've done this before and rolling boil is just fine.
What's the temperature for the thing? You said if you have a candy thermometer,
Yeah.
what
You have a
temperature?
candy thermometer? Hey, I'm impressed.
Because
one
we
too.
made required this sugar mixture to be exactly 200 and some degrees, and we had to have a candy thermometer. So
Oh, boil. We're gonna ask Maria, our science teacher.
Well, water boils at 212.
And I think it's the same for cream.
Somewhere around 212.
Yeah.
I think I'll just wait for the rolling boil. But I was like,
well.
whoa.
Bring
That
this up.
boiled over real fast. Whoops. Okay, my cream is boiling now.
Okay, mine is not yet, so you can.
I lost some of it. Should I reconstitute it, do you think?
You lost some of it?
It boiled over the top. I was using
Oh.
a pan that's too small.
Can you measure it again and see how much you lost?
Yeah.
I can't tell you without seeing how much there was. And even then, like if it's a couple drips, it's probably.
Oh yeah,
fine.
it's very close to 2 cups.
Okay, then don't worry about it.
If I lose any, I'm out of luck. I'm gonna go babysit my cream. As soon as it goes to a rolling boiling, I'm gonna roll
Take
it.
it off the stove then.
Okay.
I misread your thing. I bought 2 pints of cream.
Well, you're using 1 pint for this
Yeah, I
recipe.
poured the other one back into another pan and I'll put it away.
Oh, you actually poured.
Oh yeah. I was all ready. I was prepared for it.
Well, you could have a double batch of creme brulee plus the
yeah.
Tar Heel pie.
So
No such thing as too much cream, in my opinion.
Yeah, Marie, we are going to need 3 tablespoons of cream for the
good.
pastry crust. So you needed more than
I
a
got
pint
it.
anyway.
Yeah, well, I had 3 pints of cream.
Well, you may decide you love the creme brulee so much you're going to make more of it.
Yes, that's it.
That's your story and you're sticking to it, right?
Better believe it.
So I'm not going to hold you up because my cream's not there. If your cream has come to a boil, then you're going to pour it right onto the whisk in the bowl with the egg yolks in it. So you want to make sure that you're whisking quickly, like I'm doing, and the cream is hitting the whisk so that it breaks up. It doesn't turn to scrambled eggs. We are going to strain this, so don't worry if you have a couple chunks, but you'll have it. Oh, mine just came to a boil. Okay, so I can show you what I
We're
mean.
tempering it basically, right?
Yeah.
Even that word.
Okay, Pam and Clove and Marie, if you want to watch.
Mine's like super close to boiling, so
Okay, so watch what I'm doing. I'm doing a little at a time and whisking fast so that it doesn't cook the eggs too much. And when you have about half of it in, you're probably okay to put the rest in. And go ahead and whisk it.
So if mine has bubbles all the way around the edge, do you think it's time to pull it?
Now, you want it to be boiling, a rolling boil.
I definitely see how yours must have boiled over.
Yeah, it was pretty much instantaneous. It just went.
Yes, because I could hear it start to go, and then I was like, uh-oh.
Yep.
And it started to rise. I agree. I used the smaller pot when I should have used the bigger one.
If you remove it from the burner as soon as it starts to come up the sides, then it stops the boiling. So it should be okay at that point.
Hindsight is 50-50.
Right. Where was I when it was boiling over, right? So I'm separating mine into a few to give away to neighbors because I have to keep some for myself too. So you do not grease the dish, casserole dish or the ramekins, whichever you prefer. If you do ramekins, it will cook less time. And you'll notice that I have my casseroles in another pan that's bigger. That's because we're going to give it a bain-marie, which is a water bath. So I'm going to pour this.
Are we adding vanilla to it first?
Yes. Oh, I already added mine in the egg yolks. I had it in, so sorry about that. Yes. Add 2 teaspoons of vanilla.
And how deep are you putting into each bowl?
If you're using multiple, you want to make sure it's all the same so that it cooks evenly, that it's the same depth. I'll show you in a minute. Can you see that? Can you see? Louise?
Oh, sorry.
Were you asking how deep?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So if I use this glass one that's 12 1/4 by, it's 3 quarts, would that work? Pour all of it?
Sure. Yeah, maybe it may be thinner, but that's okay. That means more of the crunchy stuff on the top.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
I know.
You don't have water in the pan yet, right?
Not yet, no.
Okay. So it's 2 teaspoons of vanilla?
Yeah. So the burnt sugar top is done after it comes out of the oven. So this part is really simple.
Did you do the sieve thing yet? Did I miss that?
Oh, God. No, I didn't.
Do I need to do the sieve thing?
Yes.
Okay.
So ignore what I have here. I'm going to leave mine like this.
Okay.
But you're going to put it, sift it with a strainer, a sieve strainer, into another bowl, then pour it into your casseroles. And Louise, if you want to do that, because there's no grease on the casserole dishes, so if you want to do that as well, you'll see if there's any residue of cooked egg. Actually, I'm going to do that too.
I cooked any egg.
What was that?
I said I think I tempered it enough, and I didn't have any scrambled eggs.
Oh, good. Yeah, mine's looking pretty good too.
Okay, so now I'm putting them in the ramekins.
Yes.
Yeah, mine doesn't have any either.
Woo! Yes. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. These are 6 ounces.
And you can also use a ladle for this to put it in.
Yeah,
if you
good
don't want
thought.
to pour it.
I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to ladle it into a measuring cup because it says it's 6 ounce. There's supposed to be 6 ounce things. And then I can pour it from the measuring cup into the thing. Okay. There's 8 ounces in a cup, right?
That's right.
So 2/3 of a cup is 6 ounces then?
3/4.
I mean, yeah. I meant that. I didn't say that, but that's what I meant.
So I don't want you pouring the hot water in yet. I'm going to explain something when everybody has their ramekins or casseroles filled with the filling. Thanks, Marie. Louise?
Mhm.
Okay. Clove, do you have yours all poured out? So next you want to get the hottest tap water you can in a measuring cup. Okay. And I never pour it in at the counter and carry it because the last thing you want to do is end up with water splashing into the creme brulee. So I'm going to pour a little bit just to show you, and then you're going to take it over to your oven, pull the rack out gently, push it back in gently when you're finished. And you want it to go up, the hot water to go up about an inch up the side. And it will be less water than it would if the ramekins or the casseroles were not in it, because that'll displace it. So you want to make sure it doesn't matter if you're far away from any of the ramekins, because it'll go across the bottom. Pam, do you see this?
Nope, sorry. Hold on. I was filling. All right, sorry. What are you doing?
So we're pouring the water in, but you're not going to do it until you have it over in the oven.
Okay.
So that you don't splash it.
Okay.
And make sure you see how I pushed mine away from where I was pouring. I push them away and I'm pouring here.
Okay.
Because I want to make sure that none of the water goes anywhere near the creme brulee. So now I have a little bit in, but it's not enough to splash up and spoil my creme brulee. So I'm going to take this over, put it in the oven, and continue until I have about a cup, an inch depth of water surrounding the casseroles.
This is to a cold oven, right?
No, sorry. 350. I'm sorry, you won't be able to do it yet. I didn't
Okay.
tell you to preheat the oven.
Okay.
And the pie is also going to be 350. I have my ovens preheated, so you want to make sure your oven is preheated to 350 before you put it in.
All right, sorry, I had my water. So I'm gonna put this in the oven and then I'm gonna get the hottest tap water I can. And I'm gonna fill it to about an inch. Is that what you said?
Yes, but make sure that your casseroles with the creme brulee are not close to where you're pouring the water in.
Okay.
But your oven needs to be preheated.
Yeah, 350, right?
Yes. So when you're ready, we're going to make the pie crust. So Clove, is your oven preheated to 350?
It's still heating up.
Okay, so you haven't added the water to the pan?
No.
Okay, good, good. I just wanted to be sure you got that too.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I'm not gonna follow along for the tar heel pie because I realized that I'm missing an ingredient.
Oh, what are you missing?
I'm missing brown sugar, I think.
If you
Um,
have everything else, you can probably use white sugar plus the other white sugar.
Mhm.
Yeah,
That's
substitute.
all right though. I didn't follow in the beginning with melting the chocolate.
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
so I'll
okay.
just try with the creme brulee. But it's
Okay.
looking pretty good so far. I'm surprised.
Yeah, actually making it is not very difficult at all. People think because it's such a fancy dessert that it's very hard to make. Making it, as long as you strain it, you're good because you've made sure none of the little chunks of egg, if there are any, would get into it. And the sugar crust is just something you have to watch if you don't have a torch. So we're going to use the stove on the oven on broil to
Mhm.
do that part after it's finished.
Yeah, I'm excited. Vera was always much better at doing these things than I am.
I don't know about that. You stepped in at the last minute, so she owes you. I don't know that you want to save her any of the creme brulee.
Oh,
I'm not making the crust, so feel free to get started. Mine are in the oven. 25 minutes. Is that what?
25 minutes to start, and then we'll
Okay.
check them.
All right. Even in the ramekins?
You know what? You may want to put them in at 20 because
Okay,
you
good.
have smaller quantities.
Okay. Yeah, I only got 5 6-ounce things.
Okay.
When I Googled how many ounces is in 1.5 quarts, it said it was 48 ounces. So I pulled out more ramekins, but I didn't need them.
Marie, how are you making out?
I'm good. They're in the oven. They've got 15 more minutes to go.
Oh, wow. So you
And I'm
had your
cutting up-
oven preheated.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
And
I'm cutting
Louise,
up
you're
my
waiting.
butter now.
Yep.
I'm sorry, what's up, Marie?
I said I'm cutting up my butter.
Okay. So the next thing you want to do for the crust, and it's only Louise and Marie making the crust, you want a stick of butter that's cut into small chunks. And do you both have a food processor, Louise and Marie?
Yes, I do.
I do.
Okay, because that makes the crumbly part much easier to make. So once you have that cut, you're going to measure 1.5 cups of flour. And we're doing the crust now, not the filling. And 3 tablespoons of sugar and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So I'll repeat that. So it's 1.5 cups of flour, 3 tablespoons of sugar, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And put that and the butter in the food processor and do it on pulse so you get crumbs. And then you're going to pour that out into a bowl so you can add the other ingredients to it. So it should be crumbly, but using the food processor is great when you're mixing butter with dry ingredients because it really gets it small enough pieces of butter that you don't see chunks of it. You don't have to work so hard. And you want to make sure you pulse it so that you're not getting a dough. It should still be crumbly.
Meal.
Is a quarter teaspoon of salt, is that just a pinch?
Maybe a pinch or two.
Okay.
Some spoon measuring sets don't have the quarter teaspoon. So then once you have it crumbly and in a bowl, you want to crack an egg and use the egg yolk, not the white, and 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. And you're going to add that in. And then you can just stir it until it all starts to come together. And you'll notice that I'm folding it over so that the dry ingredients incorporate with the wet, and wiping off the spoon that I'm stirring because that has some of it stuck to it.
Sorry, I'm a little bit delayed here because I'm trying to figure out my pulser won't work, so I'm still stuck on the pulsing part.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you can manually do it. Turn it all the way on and stop it. Turn it all the way on and stop it, Louise.
But it's not letting me do it because it's saying insert pusher or something like that.
Oh,
What happens to me?
so
I got
now
it.
I have it to the point where it is not any wet sections, but it's still crumbly. So I'm going to put it on the counter and knead it.
Can you repeat the instruction about the egg yolk, please?
Once you have the crumbs, your flour, butter,
Mhm.
salt, and sugar, you're going to add the egg yolk, not a whole egg, an egg yolk, and 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. And then stir it. And I just used a serving spoon, like a tablespoon, to stir it until there wasn't any puddles of it. And then I put it on the counter and I'm kneading it
Okay.
so that I get it all to be nice and smooth and together, because it'll still be crumbly in your bowl. Did you get yours to work? Louise,
Yeah, sorry, what?
did you get yours to work?
Yes, now I'm just going to transfer it into a bowl.
Oh, okay, good. and it should come together and be nice and smooth. And it's not so wet that it's sticking to the counter or sticking to your hands. So Louise and Marie, let me know when your crust is ready to roll out.
Oh,
Good, looks good.
okay.
Okay,
I'm sorry, I'm about to add the cream and then I will be almost ready.
okay.
One, I'm currently trying to knead it.
Okay,
It is sticking together. That's reassuring.
good. So Marie, you let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to show you about rolling out the pie crust, and then you'll be able to do that. And Pam, you'll want to listen to this too, because you have your pie crust. Is yours, I never buy pie crust, Pam. So is yours already rolled out? Oh, it's already in the pan. Okay,
It's not like pie crust. It's the graham cracker crust thing.
oh, okay. I was
So-
thinking, I didn't think that
Yes.
store-bought pastry pie crust would
No.
be already in the pan. But
No,
I
no,
didn't
no.
know-
It's not.
I didn't
Yeah.
know if that came rolled out into a flat sheet or if that came folded up or just a ball.
You know, I didn't think to look for actual pie crust paste. I just bought the graham cracker crust thing.
Okay, well, that actually will be good with the chocolate filling. So Marie, as soon as Louise is finished, she's just about there. She was having some technical difficulties. So as soon as she's finished, we're gonna roll it out. So what I always do is flour the counter, and you don't want it to be like it snowed. You don't want it to be really thick. And then I always roll the rolling pin in the flour so that it gets completely coated with flour. I form it into a circle and flatten it as much as I can with my hand. Now, before we put it in the pie plate, we're going to grease the pie plate if you have cooking spray. I love this tip when I read about it because so often you have trouble getting the pie crust out, especially the first piece, and this really helps with that.
Got it.
Now, what size pie plate are we using?
I just have a disposable one that is 8.5 or 9, I think. But it could accommodate the crust, and the filling could accommodate a larger one if you have
Okay.
a larger one.
see
So
as I
I'm
have.
rolling it, trying to keep its round shape. And then turning it over and rolling it some more. You don't want it to be real thick. So this actually may be more than you need for one, depending on the size of your pie plate for one pie.
The oven timer just went off.
What happened?
The oven timer just went off for the. how do I
Okay,
do-
let me check mine so I can tell you what to expect. Mine is still liquidy. You want it not to have rolling liquid under the surface, Marie.
Okay, let me see here. Oh, God, this is heavy.
Yeah, and you have to be careful because of the water when you're pulling a rack out. If your oven is not brand new, it could start to splash.
Oh, dear. Let me see this.
And how thin are we doing the pie crust?
Probably 1/4 of an inch at the most.
Just hoping. Mine feels very dry still.
I'm sorry, yours what?
It's very dry still,
Oh, is it really?
but I'm gonna try to roll it on the actual counter instead of on a thing.
Okay. You had 3 tablespoons of cream
Yeah, yeah,
and 1 egg yolk.
yep.
Okay. If you squeeze it, does it stay together?
Yes.
Okay. Maybe squeeze it a little more.
Yeah, I'm gonna see it once it's now roll outable. That.
So then the way that you pick it up off the counter, if you want to look, Marie,
Yeah, let me come over and see. I'm rolling.
oh, you can see from over there?
No, I was on the kitchen
Oh.
table. Yeah,
Okay.
let's see.
So I roll it up in the rolling pin to get it off the counter. And then I unroll it into the pie plate.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Then you want to trim around the edges.
Mine's kind of falling apart.
Maybe add another spoon of cream.
Yeah, I think it needs it.
Yeah. Did you have a lot of flour on the counter that maybe got incorporated into
Before
it?
I put it on the counter with the flour.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so it looks like I have enough for another open face pie. one crust pie. And this will stay in the refrigerator. Put it in a Ziploc bag and you can use it for another one. And this is actually a pastry crust, not a pie crust, because it has the cream and the egg in it.
So much better now. Good.
Oh, good.
So how do I tell if it's done?
Excuse me?
How do I tell if the creme brulee is done?
When you move it a little, the pan, the
Mhm.
creme brulee shouldn't be like under the surface. There's rolling like that it's still liquid.
All right, let me bring
It's-
you
it's-
over.
It's
bring you
never
over.
going to be where you can put a tester in and come out clean because it's a custard. So it's going to be wet.
Right.
It's not going to
Okay.
be crumbs on the tester.
So I'm gonna bring you over and I'm gonna do the camera. And I'm gonna get my oven mitts back on me. Okay. So are you watching?
Yes.
All right, so, okay, can you see? So, like, what should I, I don't know if you can see.
You have to move it for me to be able to tell. Move,
So-
move one of them. Can
Yeah,
you?
all right. Pull one out.
No, just move
Okay.
it so that I can see if it's rolling under the surface.
I'm trying to, hold on, I'm looking, okay. So,
Yeah, that's too wet still.
okay,
Do you see how it was like a like a wave under the surface?
I'm like, I think it still is, but I wasn't sure. Ow, that's hot. All right, so I'm gonna go for another 5.
Yeah, and that's the best bet. Try it in increments of 5 more minutes.
All right, I'm gonna leave you over here so I can do that again. You get to see the other side of my kitchen.
I think my kitchen must be too hot or something because this dough does not want to cooperate.
Yeah, I
Really?
got mine in, but see, here it is. Looks-
Was yours too sticky, Marie?
Like
was
it's
a
just
little
falling
sticky.
apart.
I got it in. Can you see it?
Oh, yes, I see, and that's fine. You may want to press it down. Remember, if it has fingerprints or whatever, you're gonna have filling on top. Nobody will ever see that.
Okay.
So don't be hard on yourself because it's only you who's gonna know it. Louise, yeah, it does do that, break up like that. I thought you meant it was crumbs.
Oh, okay.
It does because it is a pastry crust.
Yeah.
So you could even put it in the pie plate and press down and do bits
Yeah, I
of
think
it.
I'm gonna do that. Just so that I have something to present, as it were.
If you don't mind, I'm actually gonna head out. I think my
Okay.
creme brulee should be all ready in the
Okay,
oven.
and are you okay with putting the sugar on and burning it?
Yep, I
okay.
think so. I actually have a torch at home, so it's
Oh,
perfect.
good. That's even better.
Well,
So-
thank you so much, Kathy.
Thank you, and
It's
tell
a pleasure.
Kara we missed her.
Great.
I was looking forward to seeing her again, so, but I
I'm-
got you and I got to meet you. so.
I'm sure she mentioned to me she might want to take another one of your classes.
Oh,
'cause
good.
She took your soup one and now this one.
Yes.
So
Yes.
she'll follow up with you, I'm sure.
Okay,
Great.
take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, my chocolate mixture got solidified, so I'm gonna put it back in the microwave just for about 20 seconds to loosen it up. We don't want it to get hot, but we want it to be a little looser.
So Cassie, this is what my crust looks like. It's a little sad looking, but
As long as it's not thick in the crevice around the edge at the bottom,
yeah, that's what I'm working on, getting that nice and thin
Okay.
here.
it should be fine.
Jim, can you come in here? I can't move this thing. It's too heavy. I have to be really careful because the shelf will tilt. You know, it's, see. Let's see if this is, yeah, this is okay. I want this out. Be careful and don't get the glare in the creme brulee. Okay, you put it up on top. Thank you.
Okay, I think my pie crust is passable.
Your pie crust is what?
Passable.
Passable? Okay,
It's not pretty, but it's passable.
okay.
Okay.
So,
I took
My creme brulee is not finished yet, so we're gonna give it
I
another
took
minute.
mine out. It's done.
Okay, so if you have tongs or some way to lift them out of the water, that's probably easier than pouring the water off.
Okay.
So for the filling, I don't know if you heard, mine got solid. My filling, the chocolate and butter solidified. So I put it back in the microwave for about 15, 20 seconds, not to heat it, but to loosen it up so that I could pour it.
So mine, I've been randomly stirring it, but all right, so hold on, I gotta find out where we are. Is this okay consistency?
I would put it in for about 10 or 15 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. And Louise, are you good with the chocolate and butter?
Yep, it's
Okay.
nice and loose.
Okay. And how about you, Marie?
Good.
Good. Okay. So then you're gonna take a half cup of flour, a half cup of brown sugar, and a half cup of white sugar, and put that in with the chocolate and butter mixture. And we don't have to have that completely mixed because we're going to add some other wet ingredients.
Right, so half a cup of everything into this same bowl.
Into the bowl with the chocolate and butter.
Okay, I hope I have a big enough bowl.
And I always do that because if your chocolate got a little bit too warm when you put it back in the microwave, that'll cool it down. Because it's not, you don't want to put the eggs in next. You want to put that mixture in.
So My brown sugar is very clumpy. What's the best way to declump it?
It will be okay.
But like I can't get it out.
Oh. Microwave. And you can also, for future reference, put a piece of bread in with it and leave it in the cabinet. I get big bags of them. So I put them into a Ziploc bag, and I don't have it here. I put a chunk of bread in it, and I couldn't believe how it just turned to crumbs again.
Mhm.
Instead of being big chunks of hard stuff.
Doesn't
Did
the
that-
bread get moldy though?
It doesn't.
That's weird.
It is. It just gets stale.
I do that with cookies because it'll soften up cookies.
Right. Did that help, Louise?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So your half cup of brown sugar should be packed, half cup of white sugar, half cup of flour. And then you're going to crack 2 eggs. And you need a teaspoon of vanilla, and you're going to add that to the mixture.
My bowl is way too small for that. Hold on.
Yeah. I think I should be okay, but
So then when you whisk it, then it all comes together. And it's almost like a brownie with a pie crust under it. And the Tar Heel state, I believe, is North Carolina. So that's where this recipe came from.
So sorry to go back to the creme brulee, but the top is set and there's no movement underneath, so it should be good.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm scraping all around the sides and the bottom with my whisk to get this mixed together.
Hey, don't yell at me.
And once you have that batter mixed and it's not sounding gritty anymore from the sugars, then you can scrape it into your unbaked pie crust. And make sure you use a rubber spatula to scrape the bowl so you get all of that chocolatey goodness into the pie crust.
Okay.
Now, of course, I can't find my vanilla. Where did I put it?
I thankfully bought another thing of vanilla because I ran out.
Can I use vanilla bean paste instead since I can't find my vanilla? Oh, wait, it's right there. Never mind. I found it.
Or you could omit it if you didn't have it. It's not going to make that much of a difference.
I'm a very chaotic baker, so.
Marie, how's it going?
Mine's in the oven.
Oh,
I can't get my creme brulee to be done. How are you all?
you can't get your creme brulee, what?
It's still not done.
That's odd. You have it on at 350?
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
I had bigger casseroles than you, and mine just finished a couple minutes ago.
I don't know it. I mean, I'll take one out, and to me, it's like when I
Pam,
move it, it's
Pam,
jiggly.
is it rolling under the surface?
I don't know. Hold on a second.
So I'm
Some of them
gonna,
are like brown.
I'm sorry, what's that?
So like 3 of the 5 are browned on the top.
Well, your oven probably is uneven. It cooks uneven. So I would turn that around so that the brown ones are in a different spot.
All right, so here, hold on. Oh, where'd you go? All right, so can you see? So these 3 are brown.
Do you have the square kind of pot holders like this?
Maybe, but like, so, well, that one
Because you're
doesn't.
not going to be able to lift one of them with that big mitt on.
All right, hold on,
Even a dish towel doubled up.
hold on. So, I mean, definitely the ones that are brown are done. They're not overdone, are they?
No,
Okay, because so like those 3 are brown. And then these 2 are,
it doesn't matter about it being brown as much as it matters if there's any movement under the surface.
all right, so hold on, let me,
That's why I was saying if you use a dish towel or a square pot holder
to pull it out.
to take it out of the water so that
Okay.
you can move it.
Hold on. This seems like a terrible idea. Didn't you say you could use like these things, tongs?
If you have tongs, sure.
I got tongs. About. Please don't fall. Okay. It is out. And like, is that, it's jiggly.
Oh, it is. No, that's not finished. That's too jiggly. That's one of the ones that's not brown, right?
Yes.
So let me see one of the ones that's brown.
All right, hold on. I hope I didn't just drip water on the one as I was pulling it out. Okay. All right, so.
Huh. Maybe you put it too deep and that's why it's taking more time.
I put too much water in?
No, too much filling.
Oh, I mean, it says it's a 6 ounce, so I just filled it to the lip.
Yeah.
So they
No,
all
it's
need,
been in plenty of time, so the egg has cooked. So with all of them, you should be okay to take them out.
Okay, so take them out of the water now?
Yes.
Right.
And do you have your pie in the oven?
No, because I haven't even gotten to the mixing of the eggs in yet.
My kitchen is a catastrophe zone now.
Louise, you're too young to remember Dick Tracy, the comic strip, but he had a watch that he could talk into. Like,
Well, I
you
mean,
would
I
just-
only do it, it's an Apple Watch. I do it just because she can't hear me if I talk too far away. So I tend to do it by my face
No,
when
but
I'm by
it cracks
myself.
me up because I remember as a kid that it being something that you never would expect would ever happen, and it's
Right.
happening now.
Yep.
Yep.
You remember that, right?
Yep.
My pie is in the oven and my custard is doing something. I don't know what it's resting on top of the oven.
Okay, and did you take it out of the water?
Yes.
Okay. And Marie, your pie is in the oven and your creme brulee is out.
Or on top of the oven, cooling
Okay.
down a little bit.
So do either of you have a double oven that you can set different times? No?
Yes.
Okay. So the creme brulee crust you want to do right before you serve it. So the creme brulee should be cold. I'm going to do my small one just to show you because I'm going to eat it. So I don't care if it gets a little bit softer. But it works best if they're completely cooled in the refrigerator. And then right before you serve it, you're going to put the sugar on. So I'll show you that. I took one of mine out of the water and put it in the refrigerator. And then, and Pam, can you see this too?
Yeah, just give me a second. I'm still trying to whisk my stuff together.
So you're putting a layer of about 1/4 of an inch of sugar on top of the cooled custard. And you're going to set your oven to broil. So I'm going to do one, unless you have a torch, and that makes it much easier because you can watch what's going on with it as you're doing it, where in the oven, you have to keep checking. So but you want it to be a nice thick layer. So I'm going to take that and put that in the oven. I have it set to broil, one of my ovens. And if you have the rack right under the broiler, right under the broiler, then it goes much faster. Mine has two slots for racks in my top oven where I have the broil. But if I put it on the top one, it's too thin. Like you could get a slice of pizza in there, but you couldn't get anything thick. So mine will take a little bit longer, not much, but a little bit longer than if you have it right flush against the flame. And you want it to be set to broil too. So that's hot. So far it's still white sugar. So what questions can I answer while we're waiting for my sugar to burn?
I have just a general question.
Sure.
Sometimes people say to me, you should crack your oven when you broil. Is this true? Or
What should you do?
crack the door?
Oh, no.
Yeah, I didn't
I've
think.
never heard of that.
Yeah, my mom
What-
always did
What was the reasoning behind it?
to get the air to circulate. I don't know. But it
Maybe
did-
it was different with old ovens, though, if it was your mom.
well,
who
could
told
be.
you.
It could be,
Yeah.
yeah.
That,
because
yeah,
I
I've
don't-
never heard that, but
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
don't
that
do
much
it.
younger than you. I've never heard that.
I
So,
don't do it, but
Yeah.
Mom always cracked the oven just a little bit. So we had an old gas stove, and the broiler was underneath the
Right, right.
Yeah.
But maybe so that it wouldn't get smoke in the household,
Maybe, I
it
don't
could
know.
be.
How long for the pie, the Tar Heel pie?
30 to 40 minutes.
Is that to cook the crust?
No, you put the filling in.
Yeah, no, I just wondered if I needed, if the crust, if the filling actually needs to cook.
Yeah, because it has eggs in it.
Okay, all right. I can cook in these tin. Yeah, you cooked in this tin.
Cooked in what?
The pie tin.
Oh. Just make sure there's no plastic still attached, since that was a graham cracker crust. Okay.
I already
good.
got that. All
Yeah,
right, and for how long?
30 to 40 minutes.
And what are we looking for it to be done?
Set in the center. It'll be like a brownie on top of the crust. And if you have, it's good. Louise, I see your eyes lighting up there.
I have a day off tomorrow, so I know what I'm eating.
You'll be up all night if you eat it tonight, right? You'll be all sugared up. If you have one of those rings that protects the edge of the crust, you can put that on so that the edge doesn't get too burned. But that's up to you. So let me go check this again. Okay, it's not all the way there, but you'll see. The center part there is all the way there. Okay, do you see that, Pam?
Yep.
I get like a haze on the edge here. I don't know what that is.
A
On the-
haze on the edge of what?
Of my picture here.
Do you have my close-up camera enlarged?
I don't know.
The one that says close-up camera? If you go to the top right corner and go view speaker view.
Okay. I see it now, yes.
Okay, you were looking at this one where
I'm
I'm
looking at the
waiting.
wrong camera.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put it back in, but you get the idea of how it's supposed to look. My sugar, I guess I probably didn't have it dispersed evenly, or my oven is not cooking evenly like Pam, like yours was not. So I'm gonna put it back in, but that's what it should look like. Okay, think of a toasted marshmallow look, but not burned. I like the burned toasted marshmallows myself. So what questions can I answer for you?
No, I'm good.
You're
I'm
good?
good too.
So what do we put the creme brulee in the refrigerator and then until
When
you
you're
want
gonna
to serve?
serve it, like
You-
tomorrow or another day. when
Yeah.
you're gonna serve it.
Then
Once
you
it's
do-
cool, once it's cool, I would put saran wrap over it so that
Okay.
it's tightly sealed.
Okay.
You don't want to do it while it's hot.
Yeah.
So once you have it in the refrigerator for a half hour or an hour, maybe, then put saran wrap over the top to cover it. And then when you're about to serve it, put the sugar on and put it in the broiler or use a torch.
And how long can I keep this before like, so like I'm not gonna have it tonight. So how long can I have the creme brulee before I need to throw them out?
Oh, you can't throw them out. No. I would say 3 to 5 days, you should be fine. And you can freeze the pie after it's baked if you don't want that much sweet stuff around, and then just thaw it out the night before in the refrigerator. You could put it in the oven to warm it up if you're going to put a scoop of ice cream on the pie. But that can be frozen.
I don't know if I mixed my filling enough, because did you say keep mixing it till it wasn't gritty?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I mixed it enough.
Well, you know what? It won't come up as high, but it should still be fine.
All right, because when I licked the spoon, it was still very gritty.
And mine had a big chunk of brown sugar in it that I couldn't break up, so I just left it.
Yeah, I had.
I have a little chunk of white sugar that wouldn't break up. So yeah, same thing with me. I was like pounding on it with the whisk and thought, it's sugar, it's fine. So Marie, you didn't have any trouble?
No, mine seemed to pull away from the sides of the bowl, actually, after I mixed it for a while.
Oh, okay, good.
It was good.
And when I put it into the crust, it kind of mounded in the middle, and I had to smear it with the back of the spatula to get it to level out.
Yeah.
So, well, it's been wonderful having you for this 3-week session, or 2 of the 3 weeks, Marie. And really glad, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I know you probably enjoyed what you got to taste.
Yeah.
So, Marie, did you make any of the ones from the first week?
Not yet. I've had
Oh,
2 very full weeks.
okay. No, I was just curious because I remembered you were not cooking along the first week.
No, I couldn't.
So,
I
right.
didn't have any of the stuff, but I do plan to make them though.
Oh, okay. Good, good. Well, nice to see all of you, and nice to meet you, Louise, because I've met
Yep.
Pam and Marie before in previous classes, but nice.
Yeah, I'll
to
keep an
meet
eye
you.
out for the classes on the mainline school night email
Yeah.
again.
Okay, and also look on my website, because did I mention to you about the library ones that are free?
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. On my website, I don't usually have a lot during the summer because the libraries are focused on kids programs more, but I have some free. I should probably shut off the record.